Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono CFC, and these are 5 players that we need to buy at Chelsea Football Club. Number 1. Manuel Ugarte. I have spoken about this man multiple times recently, and that is because I believe that Manuel Ugarte is the perfect player to slot into that 6 role, and we desperately need a defensive midfielder more than any other position. Chelsea have already reportedly told Sporting that we are willing to pay a €60 million release clause, and are battling with PSG for his signature as of recording this. The 22-year-old Uruguayan is the dream defensive midfielder, doing all the gritty parts of the job that other midfielders don't want to do. Comparing him to other midfielders in the top 5 leagues, he is in the 99th percentile for tackles per 90, the 97th percentile for interceptions, and the 89th for blocks. In addition to this, he has a 91.6% pass completion in the 99th percentile, and though he doesn't often try to make progressive passes, padding this stat a little, he doesn't need to. As long as he can do the dirty work and give the ball to our other players who are able to play those progressive passes, he'll still be excellent for this role, often playing the pass before the assist or the pass before that. Another one of his great attributes is something you wouldn't expect from a defensive mid, his ability to cover ground quickly. He is unusually pacey for a player in this position and has the stamina to run up and down the pitch for the entire 90 minutes. Along with this, he is in the 90th percentile for successful take-ons, often getting past 1 or 2 players after winning the ball, something which a few of our other midfielders aren't able to do. His profile is the exact opposite of Enzo Fernandez, so they complement each other perfectly, leaving us with a strong, Spanish-speaking South American core that can boss the middle of the pitch. Not only that, but I believe that playing in the Primera Liga is a great introduction to life in the Premier League, with the physicality and pace of the Portuguese outfit being almost the same. The youngster is only getting better with time too, and for half the price of someone like Declan Rice, I think this is a no-brainer. We should try everything in our power to get him wearing a blue shirt next season, and show that Ugarte Ribeiro is worth el dinero. Number 2. Harry Kane. Another incredibly needed position for Chelsea Football Club is at the striker position, and a player I've mentioned that I believe would be a great addition is England's leading goal scorer, Harry Kane. Widely considered the best centre-forward in the league for a number of years, Kane is a dream signing for any club and improves any team that he walks into. His name speaks for himself, and although I know I don't have to tell you his stats for you to know how good he is, I will anyway. The 29-year-old has scored 28 goals and bagged 3 assists in 37 Premier League matches this season, a mighty impressive tally considering he's playing for a relatively underperforming Tottenham Hotspur this season, where he isn't surrounded by amazingly creative players like Enzo and Nkunku. Harry Kane would not only provide us a talisman for goals, but would also make every other player around him better with his incredible creativity and understanding of when to go for goal versus when to provide for his teammates. He ranks in the 96th percentile for progressive passes, 91st percentile for shot creating actions, and although he hasn't got many assists this season, you can see from his 86th percentile for expected assists that he should have gotten way more, and has been let down by poor finishing from his teammates. And he has gotten these stats while playing over 4,000 minutes this season, being super reliable and playing almost every game, a level of consistency we would die for at Chelsea. Another maybe more underlooked trait of his is his incredible leadership. Chelsea don't have too many leaders in the team, especially with the likes of Azpilicueta soon to be leaving. The England captain would instill not only a sense of calmness, but raises the standards of what our team should be aiming for as one of the locker room leaders, and set an example for the incredibly young players in the squad. A reunion between him and Pochettino is an admittedly unlikely but promising one, with his most impressive seasons being under the Argentine, and his acquisition would be an exciting one for all Chelsea fans. In my mind, if we are to get a striker this window, then in the immortal words of Vince McMahon, that's gotta be Kane. Real quick, before we get any further into the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. 99.3% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'm trying to expand on this incredible community. Much love team, let's get back to the video. Number 3. Andre Onana. Though not my personal first choice, an emerging possibility for the soon-to-be vacant number 1 role is ex-Ajax goalkeeper Andre Onana. The Cameroonian has been having a steady season at Inter this year, slowly getting back to his best after his controversial ban. The 2 times Eredivisie champion has impressive stats all round and is a significant improvement on what we currently have. Playing 39 times for Internazionale this season, he has conceded only 27 times whilst keeping 19 clean sheets, 7 of those clean sheets coming in the Champions League, setting a new record for an Inter goalkeeper in one campaign. He has also made the most amount of saves at the same time. Comparing him to other keepers in the top 5 leagues, he's in the 88th percentile for goals against, 92nd percentile for saves, and 94th for clean sheets. He's a mightily impressive shot stopper, which is only complemented by the fact that he's also pretty good with his feet. If you look at the stat on screen, he has allowed a lot of touches on the ball and rarely hits it long, often passing it out from the back short, which is how a possession-based side like Chelsea often operate. The only concerning thing is his lack of ability to stop crosses, but with our good defence in front of him, especially the ever excellent in the air Benoit Badiashile, this hopefully won't be a glaring issue. Our targets in other areas of the pitch are looking to be slightly expensive ones, and I think Onana is a player that is great value for his price, which is around 40 million-ish, so should be one of the cheap options that we should act upon in order to give our team balance. It's also worth mentioning that the man will be able to quickly and efficiently slot into the goalkeeping role, with his teammates ahead of him all speaking French, Italian or English, all of which the 27-year-old speaks. We will have to keep monitoring him and see how he gets on in the Champions League final against Man City, and for the league's sake, I hope he wins it. Number 4. Romeo Lavia. Another midfield option, the young Belgian Romeo Lavia is emerging as a popular player to sign amongst many teams, and Chelsea are no exception. The teenager has been a diamond in the rough at Southampton this season, looking impressive almost every game, despite playing for a team that was always destined for relegation. Chelsea are going to need another centre mid to come in, with the possibility of 2 to 3 of N'Golo Kanté, Mateo Kovacic, Conor Gallagher, Dennis Zakaria, Mason Mount or Robin Loftus-Cheek on their way out. We would only be left with Enzo, Carney Chukwuemeka, Lewis Hall and Chalobah as midfield options, along with those that stay, and we'd need reinforcement in that area. Because of Southampton being relegated, he's a good option as he will be cheaper, and although his stats don't actually look too impressive, I think they look worse because of who he's been surrounded by. He's passed the eye test anytime I've watched him, bringing a much needed energy to the middle of the pitch. He's only really going to be a rotational player for us anyway, so he doesn't have to be world class, especially considering his lower price tag. I will show those stats regardless for integrity's sake, with his most impressive stats being that he's in the 79th percentile for passes completed, 77th for successful take-ons, and 95th for blocks. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think these stats are too bad for a teenager in their first full season, and it would be harsh to disregard him based on these stats alone. Having Premier League experience is an underrated benefit which he now has, and he won't need to adapt to the league unlike others, which can hopefully allow him to quickly slot into the team and be ready from the get-go if he's required. Hopefully we can obtain his signature and we won't have to be asking, "O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" And number 5, Marcus Edwards. This one might surprise you, but a player I admire a lot and believe would be a great addition to Chelsea is another player from the Primera Liga, young English talent Marcus Edwards. In truth, this was a toss-up between him and Michael Olise for this number 5 spot, but Marcus has taken precedence for me because at the moment he seems like more of the finished article and the more deadly in front of goal. Not only that, but he's also slightly cheaper, with Olise's price being a little inflated due to him playing in the Premier League already. With the exit of a few of our wingers likely, we will need to reinforce in that role, and I believe we need another left-footed option for the right-hand side to replace Hakim Ziyech, who is looking ever likely to depart this summer. If we take a look at his stats this season, he has scored 10 goals and gotten 7 assists in all competitions this season, and in comparison to the other wingers in the top 5 leagues, you can see that he's in the mid-80s to high 90s for many stats, including expected assists, shot creating actions, progressive passes, progressive carries, successful take-ons, touches in the opposition penalty area, and progressive passes received. Similarly to Madueke, he needs to improve his end product a little bit, but he's still young and that will come with better coaching under Mauricio Pochettino, a manager that has coached the youngster before during his time at Tottenham and once likened Marcus to a, quote, young Lionel Messi due to his low centre of gravity and ability to get past players. I think him coming in would be great to provide some competition for Nadi Madueke, racing both of their games and giving us 2 deadly right wingers cutting in onto their left foot. And in addition to this, providing some much needed options for rotation to help keep our attackers fit. We have struggled with injury crises in the last few seasons, and we want to move away from that if possible. He is also familiar with London, being an Enfield-born lad, but let's hope he moves the other side of the river down to the southwest, and he can be playing in blue next season. But those are just a few players that I think need to be bought this summer, and that was my list. Let me know who you think needs to be bought in the comments section down below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave it a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. I've been Mono from MonoCFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on you Blues.